I had very minimal expectations for Sekiro. I didn't really know what From would do, but I knew a new IP would at least be interesting. And lo and behold, it exceeded the expectations. This little jump right here can take a little bit of practice, not much. I always just run straight for I think it's called the Moonview Temple. You can do this little jump, this little kick here if you want to speed things along. I do it just to try and bob and weave the bullets. I'm starting this on New Game 12, but what I do is applicable for New Game. I'm not going to use the Makiri counter at the beginning of the game because you won't have it, or Puppeteer or anything like that. Um, Divine Confettis. I try to play this like I would in New Game, knowing what I would have at the beginning of the game. Yeah. So yeah, I had very neutral expectations, and I fell in love with it completely. I'm not going to say that I like it more than Bloodborne. I don't. Bloodborne is still my favorite, and I still love Dark Souls 2. Um, but I love this game. PS4 and Xbox One. I haven't. I've platinumed it for both. I've platinumed it more than once on PS4 actually, and I love it. I this section right here, there are a couple of different enemy types in this quote unquote boss that gives you pellets. Is right there. I mean, they're just there for practice, so you can learn how to deflect. Um, it's just tutorial stuff. You do it or not do it. I always just run through them. They don't give you anything. They're literally just there for practice. I think the Genichiro coming up is better practice, even though on New Game you're probably going to get, you more than likely are going to get wrecked. You're supposed to. Doesn't matter if you beat him or not, you still die. So I have a little bit of fun with him right here, and then I just say fuck it. It's just not worth the time. You don't get anything. So in terms of overall difficulty, I don't like to compare the different IPs necessarily. But I would say that this is the easiest Soulsy game for me. The deflect mechanic took a while to really nail and get down in a lot of the bosses, but after that, eh, I, I can think of things in the other games that are exponentially more difficult. So I don't. I think this is the easiest of the games, but at the same time, I think it's one of the more interesting. As much as I love Dark Souls 2, I think Sekiro is visually more brilliant. The story is more engaging, sort of. But yeah, I love it. So here, you absolutely do not have to fight Genichiro, and it's better just to go ahead and just let him kill you. Unless you're just, you know, going after some sort of dick measuring. Um, at this stage of the game, like, you won't have the Makiri counter. I did it earlier, but this is just for fun. Um, and arguably, if this is your first run, you probably won't really have a good understanding of the deflect mechanic or the pounce, perilous, all this shit. Now, if you do a fresh run after you beat the game and you kind of know what you're doing, you can wreck Genichiro a new game. But who cares? If you got something for it, it would be amazing, but you don't, so fuck it. And we're going to wake up to the sculptor and then make a beeline to Chained Ogre. So when you first start out right here, up there is Hanbei. You can practice with Hanbei. The offering box is there. If you don't do a lot of the mini bosses, at a certain point, the game will change and you won't be able to fight them, but you'll be able to buy their prayer beads in that offering box. I think it's like 1100 sen each, I think. And this game is far more forgiving than the other Souls games. I mean, you can fall off the map and not die. Okay. Not only are you able to revive if you die, at least once, twice later, sort of, but you are also able to refill those revives with the Jizo bundles. You have pellets to refill your health. You have the gourds to refill your health. You have divine grass to refill your health. I mean, this game gives you a boatload of opportunities to not die. And when you do die, it's even more forgiving because you don't really lose anything significant. A little bit of sin and a little bit of XP that is ridiculously easy to farm or grind out. And I mean, it's not like you lose anything of real significance. And on top of that, they give you unseen aid. Jesus! So it's very, very forgiving. So here, the Naomori fight. If you watch Sekiro here, what I'm doing is I'm spamming deflect. At this stage of the game, I'm gonna assume that you may not know a lot about deflects. And if you just sit and spam the fuck out of it, the the window of time that you get to make an actual deflect, it's almost like it narrows because you're not being as precise, even though it may feel like you are. When he does that, he's just refilling his posture. So if you notice, I took a lot of hits. My posture filled relatively quickly because I'm just sitting there and I'm spamming L1 on PS4. I'm just spamming it. And you don't want to do that. You want to try to be more precise. And you'll learn it as you go on. Hopefully, as we go on, I show that a bit more. So right here is the Gachin. You want to get it. You want to get the Gachin sugar. It makes you invisible. And we're going to use it just a second on Chained Ogre. So here you can skip all of the enemies on the other side of the map there. What you also skip is the bell that takes you to Hirata. It's okay. We'll get it later. You go to Hirata, you get to fight Lady Butterfly. We'll get it a bit later. It's not a big deal. But for now, we're just skipping the enemies, and we're just going straight to Chained Ogre. So here is the giant rooster. It's funny. It's funny to me that they put that in the game. Whatever. So a lot of these idols are very, very close together. It's very reminiscent of like Dark Souls 3, where it feels like they just jammed pack. They filled the fucking game with like bonfires or idols. Not at all like DS1, where they were kind of scattered about. So again, very forgiving. Lots of idols. You don't need to grab all of them if you don't really want to. So up here is a Chained Ogre. So here I use the Gachin sugar. I got a text on my phone right here, which is why I had to pause. Oh, and you can pause. You can pause the fucking game. Again, very, very much easier than other Souls games. Here you go up and you get a death blow on the Chained Ogre. Now there's an easy way to do this that I am not good at, where you fight unlocked. Sometimes it goes well for me and sometimes it doesn't. So I stay locked on and I just circle around him and make good use of the run button. The grab attacks in this game are ridiculous. And you learn that real quick with Chained Ogre. The grab attacks are... the reach is insane. I mean, they're manageable, but still insane. So here I just kind of run around him. And it's like... I mean, the Chained Ogre is kind of stupid. So I run around him, and he'll do these little attacks that leave him open for super punishment, like this. So up here on this little like ledge, there is a spear enemy. And you want to be careful not to aggro that spear enemy, because at this stage of the game, you don't have the Makiri counter, and he will do a thrust attack with the spear. Now, if you have Makiri, all you gotta do is Makiri and Deathblow, and it's real easy. Here, if he interrupts you and comes down while you're trying to fight Chained Ogre, and you don't have Makiri, you have to deal with him, you know, in a very vanilla way. And trying to manage both of those enemies at the same time on your first run, not really knowing the game, you're probably not gonna have the best of time. Alright, so there's a mini-boss down here to the right that will give you a prayer bead. I don't care, I just run to the next area down here. Because you need 4 prayer beads to increase vitality and posture. And yes, they are significant. Yes, they are helpful. But I don't know that they are as beneficial as some people may think at this stage of the game. Anyway, it's not. It's not gonna win you the game. You'll get fucked as quick going up against the next couple of bosses if you have all the available prayer beads than if you don't. Because what you should be focusing on is how well can you deflect? Like how good is that? How good are you with that mechanic? That's what you should be focusing on. So here with the snake, you don't have to run into the palanquin. You can just run straight up to the grapple spot if you want to. I just kind of like this. I think it's kind of cool. So fuck it, I do it. And then later on, when you see the snake, his eyes all fucked up. I like that. It's cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily worry too much about all the prayer beads on new game. This is how I would play a new game run. I do not worry about collecting the prayer beads or all the gourd seeds right now. I try to get to a certain point in the game, and then I start worrying about them. So here you get an Akko. It's a good thing to get. It increases your attack power, which is good. Another Gachin. So here is straight to Gyobu, and again I try and fight Gyobu as I may have on my first run. I can't really remember how I fought him. I know I died, to be honest with you, because I didn't really understand how to deflect and shit like that. Here I don't die, so yay. But I do take some hits. I think I use like 3 gourds, which is weird for Gyobu, but fuck it. So coming out, you're pretty much guaranteed some damage on him, and he will ride around and do his little spear attacks, and he doesn't do like attack flurries. He's not fast. He's very slow. He's very deliberate, and the game is pretty much giving you time to learn how to deflect these very slow spear attacks, which is good. Even though I fuck it up. Now here, you grapple to him and you'll pull him down, and you can get some attacks. And I believe that the attacks that you do to Gyobu's body deal more damage than just attacking the horse. I do not, I believe, use any firecrackers, because there is a chance that you did not know about the mob, and that you could buy Robert's firecrackers before the fight, I believe. Or the flame vent. You can, but odds are a lot of people don't know about that. So here we fight him without any prosthetics. And really, you don't need a lot of prosthetics in this game. I find only 3 to be in any way useful, and only 1 is useful in a very specific instance with one specific boss, and that's the spear. Yeah, I mean, so really, Gyobu is it's teaching you how to deflect these slow wind-up attacks. You can get into a situation like this where the camera is being kind of a cunt. But yeah, Gyobu's not that bad. Not that bad. And I mean, we're 14 minutes into the game, and we've already gone through 1, 2... Well, we haven't fought them all, but 1, 2, 3 mini bosses, 1 main boss. Yeah. So here, there is something that you should do here that you may not know to do at this point in the game, and that is this. So over here to the right, there is an enemy with one of the giant hats. Go up behind him right here, death blow him, and then jump back over the wall. And then run straight to those steps. Well, I grab the idol, of course, because I'm going to idle back to it. Or, yeah. Basically bone back to it. So up these steps and in the building is Tingu, who, spoiler alert, it's actually Ishin. But you have to talk to him and do this little rat quest, because later in the game you have to talk to Ishin after talking to Kuro. And if you haven't done this, you have to come back and do it so that he will spawn in the area where you have to talk to him. So it's best just to do it now. Plus, you get the esoteric text. Yeah, he asks you to kill a rat. You just kill the rat. Keep talking to him. He'll give you the text. There you go. This is also good because I believe... Yeah, I want to say that after you get this text, the sculptor will give you another text that you need. I can't remember which one has the Makiri and which one has ascending and descending carp off the top of my head. But you want both of them. Fuck it. So after that, after you do all that in a very short amount of time, the next step is the bull. And the bull is a mini-boss that gives a whole lot of people a whole lot of fucking problems. And I get it. On your first run, this early in the game, the bull can be a real dick. Absolutely. But not impossible and can be somewhat easy. Again, it requires knowing a little bit about deflects and how to sort of manipulate the boss's movement. So you can skip everything in this area by taking this little shortcut, going up here. I think this is coin purse. And next up will be the bull on the way to Genichido.